Greetings, I'm Kill Billy, I'm your guide in the game of Dungeon and Heroes, and today I would like to talk about production of resources and distribution of workers in Congress Hall. So if we go to the Congress Hall, so we see a number of workers. I have 356, and these workers can produce any resource. So I have six type of resources, and for each type of resources I have four levels of production. So from the lowest level, where I produce simple wood, for instance, if I produce wood, then it transfers into hardwood, then better wood, and finally it goes to the paddock, which is a legendary resource. Um, the question is how to distribute resources here, and for the beginners it might not be easy. But before I start, I would like to talk about not production of resources and distribution of workers, but about the reason of it. So you produce resources in order, for instance, to make your house, to complete your house. In this case, you just produce two resources: wood and stone, or some better stone, but it doesn't matter. So wood and stone, and you produce only two resources. You don't need to produce anything else, because if you produce two resources, it's easier to distribute workers between two resources. So for the house, you need more, maybe 50% more stone than wood. In this case, you distributed number of, if you have 356, so you need 50% more on the stone. So in this case, you produce you take 220 workers for the stone, and the other 130 workers for, or more, for the wood. If you produce something else, okay, let's produce, try to explain you on details. So I would like to produce some sort of boots, and I would like to produce only this kind of boots. I don't want to produce all of them. I just want to produce one type of epic boots in order to transfer them, fuse them into the legendary boots. I can produce many others, but it makes the situations more complicated. I just want to simplify it. So let's produce, and for that I need 900 of these 960 of these crystals, and 640 of this nice silk material. Or and look, if I have 960 and 640, so the difference again 50%. If you look to any other material or any other type of products, you will see that all the time you need the same principle for distribution of material. So you have 960 of one resource and 640 of another resource. Go to armor, it will be the same. Therefore, you need to produce only two resources every time. So I go to the Congress Hall, back to the Congress Hall, and set up my workers. So let's remove what I have. Let's remove and start over. So as I said, I need 50% more of these chromatic crystals, and this is why I said maybe 220 workers for that and 130 workers for the Levitian leather, for the not leather, but I need meal, nether weave. Okay, let's put it some nether weave. So I set crystals. First of all, I need to set the way that I use 220 workers, so the rest could be 130 or plus minus something. So I produce 5. Then I set the second material, opal. Usually if proportion is 3 times more workers, but I don't care about this proportion. I manually set the number of workers the way that I got little plus, just little plus or little minus. if I have little storage, and here I have storage, I can put minus, and then I need to take care of that, checking if the minus doesn't consume all opal resource. If I put plus, so I need to check if the storage is not full. So always there is no one solution for anything. So I always need to check. So I set this arcade, let's say plus 20, because I don't have big storage, so I put plus 20. Here I can next one I set more. I don't know exactly how much. I just put workers that in the end they got 0 or little plus or minus. So now I set a good number, and I see that the rest is 129 workers, so I think it's a good number. Now I put it to the mill, and I produce this material weave, nether weave. So I set maybe 3. Then I set this number. I need to make sure that it's close to 0. I can put little minus because I have good storage. So now, okay, this is too much. Okay, and then finally I complete. Okay, so I in the end I got plus, so I can increase number of workers on here, and maybe even here on the silk. So I still got too many. Okay, now it's a good distribution, but I think that if I put it like this, so my upper resources is negative. So, and they're not so many, and it's easy to overlook and get a negative value here. So and I can get the situation when I have no storage at all, and it will be negative. So the entire process of all 4 resources will not be produced. So therefore I reduce number of workers on silk by 1 and put some minus, and then I got positive number on other 2 resources, and I still have workers. Maybe not. I have after that I have still 4 workers. Maybe 4. So then I try to increase number of workers on the pool. I can do it like this. No, so maybe I can. I can increase it like this. Maybe I can increase number of workers here for a while, so opal will be negative, but I will still get more resources of crystals, and after that I need to redistribute it again. So maybe I check here. No, I cannot do it. I can do it, but basically I better to increase number of workers on these 2 parts. So I increase the number of workers to produce more low-level resources, and this is a good distribution. So I can live with this distribution for maybe for a couple of days without touching it, and after that I need to check whether opal amount of opal goes to 0 or not, or close to 0, and then I need to redistribute. So I also need to check if this course close on the high level, the lower level resource doesn't achieve the maximum on my storage, because it would be not good either. And these 2 resources which I put on the top, I put more workers. I need to check that too, that my storage is not overloaded. And every time I need to do some redistribution. So now notice that if I produce 60 crystals, I got 30 waves, 30 waves. Actually, this is not 50-50, this is 2/1, and after some time, after maybe 1-2 days, I will get too many crystals, too many of these crystals. But after it means that after 2 days I need to redistribute number of workers the way that I produce more materials in the mill, so more weaves instead of crystals. So notice that if the number of workers is small, like 356, it's not very much for. It's good for the beginning, but not very much for the production itself. People have maybe a few thousand of workers. Then if I have more, so the distribution will be easier because proportions will be easier to set with larger numbers. Now I cannot set it to ideal one, but I can arrange some way. And notice if I produce more than two resources, it will be trouble because I will need to redistribute more workers and it could be problematic. With two resources, I think it is the best. I just check the proportion of ratio of each resources and ratio of number of the worker distribution on each type of the resources. That's it. So I hope this video is useful for you, and I hope you like it, and see you next time. Bye bye.